Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna get started today with my He-Man Masters of the Universe collection here. You can see we have He-Man here first to look at. Also, I got a new tripod and a new microphone, so I'm hoping that I'm coming in loud and clear now. I know before the sound was a little too low, so I'm hoping this helps a little bit. I got a new light too, kind of trying to light up everything a little bit better. Still kind of working on my background here a little bit here, but I'm hoping this works well so that everyone can see everything a little better than what we had before. So I don't know if I'm going to go through all of them today, but we'll go through some of the figures that I have, action figures that I have, and if we don't get to all of them, I'll do a two-part video and we can go through the rest later. So these are all original Masters of the Universe. This would be the original He-Man. He still has all his accessories. He's got his battle axe here and shield. These are all played with condition. He's got his harness here that he wears, chest harness, I guess. I'm not sure. He's still in pretty good condition. If you look up close a little bit, if I bring him a little closer, he's got a little bit of loss of paint, like on part of his hair and a little bit on the face, but really not bad. This is actually, for as much as I played with these when I was a kid, he's still in really good condition. He's got a little like scuff right there on his leg. He's got his gray skull sword. And oh, there's a date on here. Let's see what the date is. These are made by Mattel, made in Taiwan, 1981. So this would be what's called the first wave of the Masters of the Universe action figures. I just always put his sword back in there. So this is the first wave. This is the original He-Man. You can always tell it's got the squishy head. The rest is all the hard plastic, but the heads on the original ones are like a rubber, squishy rubber. So that's an original He-Man. So really cool. These are going to be auctioned off or sold on my eBay page. So if you're interested in these all, or any of these that we look at today, you can take a look at my eBay store. The link will be in the description down below. This He-Man will probably be auctioned off first. I have an auction form that's actually about to end, but it sounds like the winning bidder doesn't have PayPal, so I'm not sure if I'm going to take his bid or not. I don't really want to mess around with any other kind of payment besides PayPal, so he's probably going to go back up for auction again, I'm guessing. So, but we'll see. So that's He-Man. See what else we got here. Okay, so if we start with He-Man, we have to look at Skeletor next. Again, original Wave 1 Masters of the Universe Skeletor. Did I say skeleton before? Skeletor. He's still got his sword, his other half of the Gray Skull's sword. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. I can't remember, but there were two parts they were always battling for on the cartoons. He's still got his staff here, his goat staff. He's got his harness and I don't know if you call that a cod piece or what. He's in pretty good shape. He's got a little bit of loss of paint right there on his face and right there. He's a little dirty, but otherwise in pretty good shape. Like I said, a little dirty. I didn't clean these or anything. They're kind of as is as I took them out. That looks like it's just a little beat up right there, but otherwise in really good shape and not missing any pieces, which is cool. So that's the complete Skeletor. He's always one of the coolest villains, I think. Skeletor. He had a great voice actor back in the 80s and laugh. A lot of people are familiar with that, I'm sure. I'm not going to do it, so, but I'm going to try and show you some of the original ones first, and then either later in this video or in the next video I'll show you some of the newer Masters of the Universe figures that I have. So this one, his name was Stratos. He was a good guy. He was one of He-Man's friends. He had like a jetpack, and he came with these wings, as you can see, that he actually wore on his arms. This one has a strap. This one's missing. Strap must have broke off. but he'd wear those on his arms, and he had obviously the ability to soar and fly. Kind of cool. Again, he's an original He-Man action figure, Stratos. Let me see. Who do I got next here? Oh, I want to show you this one because this was my favorite one. He's a villain. This one, his name was Trapjaw. This was by far my favorite action figure of all of them, probably besides He-Man. Everyone liked He-Man. He was cool. He has this jaw that actually goes up and down, and he's kind of a half, I don't know if they're aliens and half robot. He has this cool robotic arm here that you could change what he had in it. He had this, which was like a claw, and then he had this, which was like a gun. He also had a hook, which I didn't see here with my stuff, so I might have lost the hook over the years. But he was cool. What was cool about him back in the day, you could take like fishing line or thin string, tie it from one side to the other, and put it through his helmet, and he would kind of zip along the line, which was pretty cool. But he's in really good shape. Like, again, these Masters of the Universe toys held up really well over the years, because I played with these a lot as a kid. I mean, considering I had Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Transformers and everything, I probably played with these more than any of the other ones, to be honest with you. I just enjoyed playing with them a lot. And let's take a look here. Oh, he was made in Mexico by the Mattel Company, and that's 1981. That's interesting, because the He-Man was made in Taiwan, and we didn't look at Skeletor, did we? Skeletor, I'd have to take that off. Let me just look real quick. Skeletor was made in Taiwan, so, and then Stratos was, can I see him, or would I have to take his jetpack off? I'd have to take his jetpack off, but let's look at another original one. A lot of people recognize this one too if you followed Masters of the Universe, since we looked at He-Man and his kind of right-hand man, Stratos. Let's look at Skeletor's right-hand man, who was Beastman. Original Beastman here. Still has his harness. I still have his, he carried a whip, which was right here. I guess that was a whip. Kind of cool. He also had these two arm plates he would wear, kind of like this. I still have those too. He would wear those like that. These, I think, just had a little buckle that broke off on both of them, so I can't actually buckle them on them anymore, but I still have them both. Or, yeah, I don't, yeah, those are broken, I think. I think they used to have a buckle right there. So, but he would wear those, and he was kind of like Skeletor's main henchman from the cartoon. Again, really good shape. All these are in really good shape. You know, not missing any arms or legs, or for the most part, you know, paint's pretty good. I'm a little dirty and played with, but not bad. Okay. Trying to stick to some of the ones that I know are like the original ones. I'd have to look at, I might have to look at some of the dates after this one. I'm pretty sure he's an original too. Yep, 1981, Taiwan. I think his name was Merman. When I was looking through some of these, I forgot a lot of the names, and I didn't have time to really look them up, but that's Merman. He was, I think he's a villain, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. And he's obviously like a fish man, and he has stuff too. I didn't get it on him for the video, but he wore like this gold. They all wore like these harnesses. I'm calling them harnesses. I don't know if that's the correct term, but he wore one like that, and it had a little thing like this that went on it. Looks like a bow tie, kind of. I'm not sure why. maybe to make him look more, it clicks in there, but make him look more like a fish maybe. And he had a kind of a weird sword. There's the sword he carried, and I always thought as a kid it looked like corn on the cob. I thought it was the weirdest weapon, but that's the sword that he carried. His face looks pretty good still. Not too much paint missing. Some really unique designs from the Masters of the Universe back in the 80s. I got a lot of them, some of the newer wave Masters of the Universe too, but I think this one is one of the originals, or at least one of the early ones. This was Ram Man, and he was the first one that didn't have the prototypical body and everything like the originals did. 1982, so he might have actually been from Wave 2, I'm not sure, or late in Wave 1. But he had Ram Man. If you never watched the cartoon or read the little comics that came with him, he was like a self-projectile. So he would bunch up and he would use himself as like a human battering ram, and he still springs. So he was a little lever on his boot right here, and he could you could set up back in the day cans and stuff. He had a little more spring back in those days, and he could knock stuff over with it, and that was kind of his power ability. But obviously he couldn't do much with him because he couldn't really walk around or move around like the other action figures. So he's obviously got some loss of paint, some scuffs, some loss of paint on his head there, but otherwise he's all pretty much put together. So those are the ones that I have for kind of the earlier ones. I have a few more to go through that maybe we'll do in the next video. I don't want it to be too long today. I want to kind of try to make the videos a little bit shorter, but I wanted to show just some of these original Masters of the Universe to you, just so you can kind of see what I have in my collection. Like I said, I'm going to be selling off my collection of everything piece by piece. So if you're interested in getting any of these characters, you can check out my eBay page, my eBay store. The page will be in the description below. Like I said, everything's used, played with condition, but I took pretty good care of my stuff over the years, so it's all in fairly good shape. So we'll do a part 2 of this video later. We'll look at some of the newer action figures that I have from Masters of the Universe. So if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and please comment and let me know what you think of what we're doing so far with the new videos. And if you'd like to just say hi or anything like that, feel free to do so. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next time.